Okay, so here is the second in my series of getting to grips with being 70, or how terribly strange to be 70. Today I thought I'd talk a little bit about retirement, as in retirement or not, or when. I ask this because when I was beginning to wind up work and maybe was forecasting a time of idleness, it became a bit of a feature that people I would meet, whether friends or strangers, would ask, have you retired? Or maybe the question would be a little bit more obscure, but what are you doing at the moment? And the truth is often that, I couldn't put my finger on something that I was necessarily doing in terms of doing something economically active to earn a living, or maybe joining a charity and doing voluntary work or something. I wasn't, to be honest, doing a whole lot. Now, I have struggled with this, I have to say. Since I started this channel, I've done one video so far before this. Let's keep things in perspective. Quite a lot of things have come up on my YouTube ID, if that's what it's called. I'm not quite sure what there is, of people coming up giving advice about A, getting older, and B, retiring or not. And some of these warnings, I have to say, are pretty blood-curdling. Some of them are basically saying, look, if you don't have things lined up for after you've finished work, then pretty much you can expect your body and mind to deteriorate very rapidly, because you've basically taken out the stresses and strains of your life, and you're just going to be able to atrophy, which that's one extreme. Whereas the other side of that coin, as I suppose you'd get on YouTube, is you get the extremes. And other people say, no, that is all, that kind of advice is classic extrovert advice. That's what applies to extrovert. If extroverts aren't going out, doing stuff, meeting people, being busy and so forth, they pretty much feel they're failing at life. Whereas introverts are slightly different. They've actually quite possibly had 40 years of having to deal with very tiresome people, or people they regard as very tiresome, who they'd rather not deal with at all, and actually would be quite happy to shuffle off and do things they want to do solitary, or with very few people, or with family, and so forth. So I don't know what the answer is. It appears to be that you have to go with the flow. I have probably not had a very distinguished working career, so it wasn't too much to leave behind, and actually I probably, during most of my life, made really rather quite a good stab at being idle, and I probably thought to myself that wasn't a tremendously thing to do as a full-time career, even though at times that may have appeared that that's what I was doing. But so I think the best way I can describe this, and how I'm justifying it to myself at this the terrible age of 70, is a friend of mine who says that, and he put it rather well. He says retirement is basically, there are times when there are things that you probably should do that you don't have to do, and that is probably good for you. But at the same time, you need to, if you're able to, and happy to do so, then maybe you can just not do stuff. And it doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to mean you're putting your foot in the grave early. So I'm kind of going to go for the balance bit of trying to do stuff that I'm pretty much forced to do, but not too much, and then trying to enjoy what I've got left in reasonable health and well-being. So that's my message for today on this second video. So to everybody who's out there watching this, which probably isn't very many people, as people used to say, have good physical and mental health, and may your God go with you.